What's up, RAZR fans? Welcome back to another video, and this is the Nothing Phone 2. Nothing are trying to improve their street cred by building on the cred they got from the Nothing Phone 1, and they've created this. I'm going to give you my first impressions, the unboxing, and a whole lot more. Let's go. Now, as far as unboxing experiences go, the Nothing is no different. It gives you all nothing. Sorry, that's the last time you use any nothing puns. That's what you get with the device. The Nothing Phone 1, for context, was one of my favourite phones of 2022. Now, bearing in mind it came out new at £400, that was a really good deal. And while we're talking about price, £629 for the 12GB, 256GB version of the Nothing Phone 2. That's over 50% of a price hike from the Nothing Phone 1. Now, again, not my full review, but first impressions, when I have to pay 50% more for a product than last time, I'm going to ask some questions. First one being, what am I getting extra for that money? I'll tell you what it's not: an extra camera. Still a dual camera setup with a wide and ultra wide in the back. Now, like the Nothing Phone 1, good cameras, no issues whatsoever. My issue is I'm paying £230 more. Give me a telephoto lens. Doesn't have to be a 5x, 10x periscope, but a 2x telephoto, a 3x telephoto. No. 2 cameras and a flash. Okay, what else are you giving me? So if it's not an extra camera, surely it's a more premium build quality. Well, ironically, no. If anything, the Nothing Phone 2 has taken a step back. When I pulled the Nothing Phone 1 from the box earlier, I instantly thought, this feels cheap. And that's because on the rear of the device, they've made the glass curved. Now, like iPhones and the Nothing Phone 1, the device used to just be flat glass on the front and back. Yes, it felt like an iPhone, but let's call a spade a spade. Nothing are copying iPhone, and we'll get to that again in a minute. If you're going to copy it, just do what you've done before. The curved glass on the back, not only is it an absolute fingerprint magnet, and I've only had it for like a few hours, it just doesn't feel right. It feels weird with the flat edges, which look great. It just doesn't sit right, in my opinion. So, build quality and cameras have not improved. Surely something has improved for that extra money. Well, yes, this is not a shit on Nothing parade, because Nothing are trying to do something that other manufacturers try and fail at. Compete with Apple. Compete in the Android space. It's a tough job to do. Luckily, Nothing have 2 major things going for it: their software and their unwavering mission to deliver a quality product to the customer at a lower price. Now, I know I just bashed them for the build quality not feeling as good and not adding an extra camera, but don't get twisted. The Nothing Phone 2's real competition is not an iPhone. It's phones like the Google Pixel. And the Google Pixel is also just a dual camera phone. It's also at around £600. What the Nothing has better than that is stock Google software, which you can choose, or Nothing software. Now, that's been the biggest benefit I've noticed so far, as well as the hardware, 6.7 inch, 120 hertz, LTPO technology, so from 1 hertz to 120, that's been a big boost. And I mentioned internally, the software that Nothing have is great. Couple that with the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1, one of the best chips ever made. I think that's safe to say. Snapdragon are absolutely killing the game just now, from the release of the AAA right through to the 8 Gen 2 that's out now. They're on a par with iOS, if not better in some degrees. So yes, Nothing could have put an 8 Gen 2 chip in this and charged everybody an extra 30 or 50 pounds, but they didn't. They were smart, they used their heads, knew that putting the price up even more would be an almost disaster, and stuck with the 8 Plus Gen 1, which is more than capable of absolutely anything. You see that glyph in the background? It's pretty cool. So with all those internals put together, you're getting fantastic battery life, apparently. It's only my first impressions. But with a near 5,000 milliamp hour battery and the 8 Plus Gen 1 chip, you're going to get fantastic battery life. You're getting all the stock Google software features with the Nothing features on top, which is widget heavy. The one issue I've had so far, and I'll talk about those, is the software has some, how would we say, bugs just now. I tried to change my widgets and add widgets to the home screen just recently, and well, here's what was happening. No matter how many times I tried, it just kept crashing and returning to the home screen. I've also had the camera crash and return to the home screen a few times as well. But it's a new device, it's almost to be expected. Because it's Nothing, I'll give them a bit extra leeway. If this was an Apple, Samsung, or Google release, I wouldn't. They should know better. Nothing. I'm going to give you a bit of a pass here, even though I probably shouldn't. So I've talked about the hardware and the software improvement slash step backwards. The one thing that has improved from the first iteration is the rear glyphs. The glyphs in the back now have like 8 million LEDs and 300 different things you can do with them. Essentially, what's really cool is if you set a timer, the screen in the back will light up and show you the countdown timer. It's got the same charging animation, so if you plug your phone to charge, it will light up and keep going until it's full. It will also track an Uber, Lyft, Waze ride, so if you book an Uber and it's on its way, it'll tell you how long it's going to be with the lights, not having to look at the screen. And that's Nothing's ethos, it seems to be, is to take you, weirdly, they've increased the screen size and increased the screen quality, but they want to take you away from using the front screen and use the back. So on the rear as well, you've got notifications lights. You can set different notification light features and patterns to different contacts. What you can also do, and I like this feature quite a lot, is set up like special contacts. So if my wife, for example, or a close family member wants to get in touch with me, even if I'm in a meeting, it'll light up a portion of the screen. So I know if this lights up, it's important, even on Do Not Disturb mode. Now with the rest of the contacts, to stop you being disturbed throughout your working day or wherever you don't want to be disturbed, the glyphs won't turn on for certain spam calls or calls from anybody else. I really like that feature. It's putting a lot of thought into the digital well-being space, something that every smartphone manufacturer is trying to get their head round. How do we get the most out of our smartphone without making sure people are on their phone 12, 16, 18 hours a day? It's a tough one. The incentive's not always there for smartphone manufacturers, but Nothing are at least trying something new using the glyph and lights on the back. All that being said, my first impressions are still positive. I'm looking forward to using this for a good week or two, then I'll drop my full review. I do, however, have a bit of a comparison video I'd like to make between this and a certain other phone that I believe is better value for money and it has much better specifications. So until that comparison,